Hi there. Today we will discuss about a very important concept related to high availability solution on Azure. This solution also implements reliability on your cloud platform. So to implement this kind of solution, you need to understand Microsoft Azure's most important concepts like Azure Availability Zone, Availability Set, and Scale Set, which plays a key role in implementing HA, that is high availability for Azure VMs. So when I am creating a virtual machine in Microsoft Azure, I will select a region as it is highlighted here, and Microsoft will place my virtual machine onto the region. As you are able to see here, the region is selected as US, East US, that's a region. So then I will select availability options, which is also highlighted here, which means how much uptime I will get for that virtual machine. So if I select no, then no infrastructure redundancy is required as highlighted on your screen. That means if this virtual machine fails, then I will not have any other virtual machines which can serve user request. Think of a business scenario which require your infrastructure to work as it is, even if any of your data center fails. So if you do not have a high availability, then you cannot serve this request and your existing infrastructure will not suffice this requirement. But if I select availability zone and availability set, then it will create a high availability solution for me here. So before I explain what is availability zone and availability set, let us first look at the architecture of Microsoft Azure. And on a high level, the architecture looks like this, which I'll show in the next slide. So here comes the high level architecture of Azure. On a high level, we have geography, as it is mentioned here. And geography is made of one or more regions. As you can see, one or more regions make a geography. Now, geography is a discrete market typically containing two or more regions that preserves data residency and compliance boundaries. Now, regions consist of one or more availability zone, and availability zones are nothing but the collection of data centers. And within a data center, we have server racks, as you can see here. These are my data centers. So let's recap the concept which you have seen in the high level architecture of Microsoft Azure. Let's look at the next slide. Now, what's a region? A region is a set of data centers deployed in a latency defined perimeter and connected through a dedicated regional low latency network. As you can see, Azure provides general availability in 52 regions around the world. As you can see with the screenshot, there are 52 regions which is spread across the world. And this is also consists of 6 additional regions which Azure provides. Now these are global regions. So as you can see here with this notation, these are the regions for me. These consist of East US or West Central US. All these things are regions provided by Azure for high availability. Now on the same note, there is a concept called region pair. Now let's understand what is regional pair and how does it differ from a region. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Here comes the concept of region pairs. So this is a high level architecture which explains the concept of region pair. Now region pair is kind of a concept which makes like each region pairs with another region within the same geography. Together it makes a region pair. Now on the same note, what is the significance of region pair? Now, platform updates, like Azure serializes platform updates so that only one region is updated at a time. So not all the regions will be updated at the same time. Only one region is updated at the time. So how this is significant? Like then your other regions are still working fine when updates are happening in one region. Now Azure regions pairs is a kind of pair that have direct connection that bring additional benefits to use them together. So that is the significance of using regional pairs. Now another important concept is that each region pair in a pair, like every region in a pair is always located greater than 300 miles apart when possible. Now I'll give an example of region pairs so that you can understand it more clearly. So example of region pairs are West US paired with East US or Southeast Asia paired with East Asia. So this is the example of a regional pairs. Now we will understand the concept of geography. Now geography is consisting of more than one region, as I explained in my previous slides. Now here comes the concept of geography. Now geography, it allows customers with a specific data redundancy, residency, and compliance, and it needs to keep their data and application close. So here it is a architecture diagram of geography, which consists of region and the regional pairs, and both makes a geography. However, they are fault tolerant to withstand complete region failure through their connection to our dedicated high capacity network infrastructure, as it is mentioned here. So it bonds the connection to scale up Azure's high capacity infrastructure. So this is the high level concept of geography. Now we'll understand what is availability zone, which is a very important concept which may be asked in any of your interviews. So we'll understand the concept of availability zone. Now Azure availability zone is a high availability offering that protects your application and data from any data center failures. Now these availability zones are unique physical locations within an Azure region. Each zone is made up of one or more data center equipped with independent power, cooling, and networking. Now this physical separation of availability zone within a region protects applications and data from their data center failures, and it is also consists of a zone redundant service that replicates your application and data across Azure zones to protect from single point of failure. So that is very important. Now, one more important point is that not every region has support for availability zone for Azure. The examples of availability zones are Central US, East US 2, or West US 2. These are supported for availability zone. Now, with availability zone, Azure offers industry's best 99.99% VM uptime SLA, that is the service level agreement, if you implement availability zone as a high availability solution in Azure platform. So that is a very important concept. You have to know 99.99% uptime SLA. It is provided only if you implement availability zone. So that's all about availability zone. Now we'll understand what is availability set. In the next slide, we'll study on that. Now availability set, as it name described, it's kind of a logical grouping capability for isolating VM resources from each other when they are deployed. By deploying your VMs across multiple hardware nodes, Azure ensures that if your hardware or software failure happens within Azure, then only a subset of your virtual machine is impacted and your overall solution is safe and is in working condition. That's the concept of high availability. Now it provides redundancy for your virtual machines, and availability set spreads your virtual machines across multiple fault domains and update domains. Now, if you want to leverage Microsoft's 99.95% SLA from Microsoft, then you must place your VMs inside the availability set, except your VMs are having premium storage. So availability set provides 99.95% SLA compared to 99.99% SLA, which is only applicable for availability zone. So this is a very important difference which you have to remember. So with this, it concludes the solution for today's problem statement. So now let's recap what we have learned today. We have understood the concept of high availability solution as Azure. We have understood the concept of availability zone. What is the concept of region, geography, and regional pairs. Also, we have understood the concept of availability set.